this video, I want to talk about two items of interest that caught my attention over the last couple of days, and of course, they both have to do with Donald J. Trump. First, yesterday on Truth Social, Trump reposted an image that someone had made, an image that glorified him, of course, and it's simply beyond the pale. Take a look at this. He has sacrificed so much to save humanity from a cabal. God bless President Trump. There are no words to describe how crazy this is. As if just being the savior of America isn't enough anymore for some Trump supporters, now he is portrayed as the savior of humanity. Even worse, Trump himself is reposting this meme. Of course, it makes perfect sense that the antichrist, who seeks to replace Jesus Christ in the hearts and minds of Christians, would cast himself as the one who has made the ultimate sacrifice in order to save humanity. Needless to say, this is all blasphemous to an extreme. As we know, the absurd idea that Trump is saving the world from a cabal is one of the core beliefs of the QAnon crowd. Thankfully, those who believe this nonsense are still a fairly small subset among his supporters, but it is taking hold among more and more Christians. The whole Trump is America's savior belief started after Trump lost the 2020 election, as his supporters began to latch onto the idea that America is going downhill fast and only the second coming of Donald J. Trump can save it. Trump himself quickly adopted the "I'm your savior" idea with his Save America rallies. After all, America can't be saved unless someone is the savior, so Trump graciously embraced being America's savior. But just as we have already seen Trump promoted as the savior of America over the past year, we are now starting to see the beginning stages of him being cast as the savior of humanity. And while most of us would laugh at the thought of this, there are some who legitimately believe he is. And the sad part is that this will begin to grow within the hearts and minds of many Christians. The Christian belief that the world's true savior is Jesus Christ will be supplanted with the new belief that, no, the real savior is Donald J. Trump. The second thing I want to talk about is Trump's bizarre video from a few days ago, which I mentioned briefly in the last video. By the way, someone just left a comment on my last video that if I dared make one more video about Trump being the Antichrist, God was going to afflict me with an agonizing and incurable disease. So if you don't hear from me anymore after this video, you'll know why. I've been struck down with an agonizing and incurable disease. Anyway, let's get back to talking about Trump's bizarre video. Trump's video took famous movie scenes and edited them in a way to make it look like the characters in those movies were gleefully reacting to Trump. As many of us have noticed, the movie scenes specifically used many actors who have criticized Trump in the past, such as Tom Hanks, Robert De Niro, and a few others. But there was one particular scene that caught my attention, and it was almost a subliminal message. The scene I'm referring to is from the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and it shows up briefly at the minute 19 mark of Trump's video. In Trump's version, the character played by Richard Dreyfuss is kneeling in front of his TV, staring in amazement at Trump. Here's where things begin to get strange. Close Encounters was released on November 16, 1977, or just over 45 years ago this month. This is just another example of how the number 45 is so heavily involved with Trump. But that's not the really weird part. In the movie, which tells the story of mankind's contact with an alien life form, several characters have an initial encounter with a UFO and later begin to experience visions of a mountain or mountain-like shape, an image that they can't quite understand at first. The character played by Richard Dreyfuss is struggling with his own visions of this mountain-like shape when a news report about a train derailment pops up on his TV. His TV screen then shows him an image that is exactly like the one he had visions of. As many of us know, these visions of the mountain would be related to where the UFO mothership would eventually land, making contact with humanity. What some may not know is that this mountain actually exists near Moorcraft, Wyoming, and it's called Devil's Tower. In the movie, the Richard Dreyfuss character is stunned by what he sees and kneels before his TV, staring in amazement at Devil's Tower. In Trump's video, however, The image of Devil's Tower is replaced by an image of Donald J. Trump. Although not as overt as Trump reading the snake poem or playing the song Sympathy for the Devil at his rallies, the inclusion of this scene from Close Encounters was likely done on purpose, a more subtle example of hiding in plain sight. They have taken an image that many of us are very familiar with and changed the background from Devil's Tower to Donald J. Trump. They are telling us exactly, and in no uncertain terms, what Donald J. Trump really is. Thank you for watching, and if you care to leave a comment, please do. As always, kindly be respectful of others in any comment you leave, especially towards those with whom you disagree. I'll talk to you guys soon.